Why did God let you fall in love with the wrong person first? It's one of those questions, the kind that doesn't just sit in your mind. It sits in your chest, heavy, quiet, lingering. And if you're being honest, you've probably whispered it too at some point. God, why them? Why did you let me love someone who wasn't meant to stay? And the truth is, the answer isn't simple. It never is. Because sometimes it takes a broken heart to wake something deeper inside you. You were never meant to love blindly. Never meant to chase connection just to fill a void. Just to feel less alone. But God, in His own way, slow, patient, mysterious, He sometimes allows your heart to attach to someone who was never meant to stay. Not to punish you, not to make you bitter, not to make you afraid of love, but to prepare you. Yeah, prepare you for something greater. Because there are some lessons you just don't learn in comfort. You don't learn them in perfect relationships. You learn them in pain. There's a kind of clarity, a kind of awakening that only comes when your heart has been stretched, torn, and then forced to heal itself piece by piece. And that pain you felt, that deep ache, those nights where you kept asking, why did it happen like this? It wasn't meaningless. God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't waste wounds. There's something strangely sacred about heartbreak, when it pushes you toward purpose. Something almost divine about loss, when it finally opens your eyes to who you really are, in Him. And when you look back now at that person you once prayed for, the one you cried over, maybe even begged God to keep, you start to see it differently. You really do. Because sometimes the greatest mercy is an unanswered prayer. You saw potential. They saw convenience. You saw something deep, something lasting. They just saw comfort. But God, He saw the lesson. He saw the turning point. He saw what you couldn't see at the time. That the very relationship you wanted the most would be the one that brings you back to Him. And yeah, He let you love deeply, maybe even desperately, not to break you, but to show you what love is not. So one day, you'd finally recognize what love actually is. There's a verse, Deuteronomy 8:2. It talks about being led through the wilderness, to be humbled, to be tested, to reveal what's really inside your heart. And honestly, that wilderness, it wasn't just a place. It was a person. It was that relationship. It was that season that stripped you down completely. Left you face to face with your own heart, your fears, your needs, your emptiness, and your longing. And somewhere in all that mess, you found something unexpected. You found yourself. You found the parts of you that couldn't fix everything, that couldn't save yourself. And weirdly, that's where surrender began. Because it was never just about them. It wasn't. It was about what God was shaping inside you. You had to experience love that was unstable, selfish, conditional. So you'd stop chasing feelings and start craving something real, something eternal. The wrong person has a way of exposing things, doesn't they? Your blind spots, your insecurities, your need for validation. It's like they hold up a mirror, not to show your worth, but to reveal your wounds, so you can finally see what still needs healing. And somewhere along the way, you realize something uncomfortable, that desperation can look a lot like love, but it's not love. It's attachment, it's dependency, it's fear, dressed up as passion. And yeah, the enemy knows that. He knows how to use loneliness. He knows how to make something temporary feel urgent, intense, almost destined. That's why sometimes a distraction shows up right before something real could have. A counterfeit connection can feel powerful, but it leaves you anxious. It feels urgent, but there's no peace in it. It feels like this is it. But deep down, there's confusion. And still, God allows it. Not because He enjoys your pain, no, but because He's waking you up, turning your heartbreak into something holy. Those tears, they become part of your story. Romans 8:28 says everything works together for good. Not that everything will feel good. And that wrong person, they shattered illusions, broke your fantasy, left you with questions you didn't have answers for. But those questions, they led you somewhere. They led you back to God. You probably asked Him, "Why would you let me love someone like that?" And if you listen closely, the answer feels like a whisper. Because you needed to see what happens. When you love them more than you trust me, you made them everything. Your future, your hope, your emotional safety. And when they left, God didn't. That's the lesson. Even when the person you thought you couldn't live without walks away, you are not abandoned. Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you pass through deep waters, He'll be with you." And look at you. You didn't drown. You didn't lose everything. You learned. You didn't completely fall apart. You were rebuilt, slowly, painfully, but stronger. And now, you're starting to see your worth differently. Not through their eyes anymore, but through the eyes of the one who created you. God let you love the wrong person first, so your soul would never again settle for something fake. Because real love, God's kind of love, it's not built on chemistry, timing, or just feelings. It's built on character, sacrifice, truth. It's that 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love. Patient, kind, selfless, humble. And you can't fake that. Not for long. And after everything you've been through, you don't even want the old kind of love anymore. Now you want peace, not chaos. You want prayer, not pressure. You want partnership, not performance. You're starting to understand. The right love doesn't just attract you. It anchors you. Doesn't just excite you. It builds you. It doesn't just make you feel wanted. It moves you toward purpose. And that kind of love, it starts with God. Because let's be real, for a lot of us, God became the most real right after our heart broke. Strange, right? But that's how it works sometimes. He allowed the heartbreak so He could finally reach your heart fully. He allowed the disappointment so you'd stop idolizing people and start valuing something deeper, something sacred. So instead of asking, "Do they love me?" you start asking, "Do they love God?" Because now you know. Someone who doesn't know God can't truly love you the way your soul needs. They just can't. And yeah, 2 Corinthians 6:14 warns about being unequally yoked. But sometimes, we only understand that after we've felt the pain of ignoring it. And even then, God, in His mercy, lets the wrong person leave. Not to break you, but to bless you. So your next love is built on wisdom, not wounds. So you walk into it healed, not desperate. Because a hungry heart settles, but a healed heart, it sees clearly. You loved the wrong person. Yeah, but that love wasn't wasted. It showed how deeply you can feel, how much you can give, how much you long for something real, something lasting. And God won't ignore a heart like that. He'll shape it, refine it, fill it, until it reflects Him. So next time that question comes back, why did you let me love someone who couldn't stay? Remember this. Sometimes God breaks your heart, so it won't bow to anything less than Him. That's not punishment. That's protection. That's preparation. Because one day, the right person will come, and you'll feel the difference instantly. They won't pull you away from God. They'll bring you closer. They won't make you doubt your worth. They'll remind you of it. They won't just fall for your appearance. They'll fall for your heart, your faith, even the way you pray. Because real love doesn't compete with God's presence. It confirms it. And when that love finally arrives, everything will click. You'll understand why your heart had to break first. God wasn't destroying you. He was preparing you for a love that looks like His. So don't hate the heartbreak. Don't resent the lesson. One day, you'll look back, and it'll make sense. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It wasn't loss. It was love, just in disguise. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of you becoming whole. And when you finally see that, you'll understand why it all happened the way it did. So right now, just breathe for a second, and maybe, just maybe, thank God. Not only for what He gave, but also for what He took away. Because sometimes, His no is where your healing actually begins. That wrong person didn't ruin your story. They redirected it. Every tear, every prayer, every moment that didn't make sense. It was all leading you back to the one who never leaves. So as you heal, don't rush into the next chapter. Let God write it. Let Him rebuild your heart slowly, carefully, not with your impatience, but with His timing. Because when His timing shows up, everything, every heartbreak, every delay, every lesson, it all makes sense. And when that love finally comes, you'll recognize it, not because it feels perfect, but because it feels peaceful. And that's how you'll know God's protection sometimes looks like heartbreak before it ever looks like a blessing.